Hello everyone and welcome to FEM, the Fondazione Anno MAC. I am Isabella Endrizzi and I work as a researcher in the sensory quality unit of the Fondazione Anno MAC. From the beginning I had the opportunity to be part of the Sisters project, which aims at reducing food loss and waste along the whole European supply chain. I'm in charge of the work package, which aims at evaluating the impact of Sisters' innovations on consumers.
Indeed, food loss and waste is one of the great paradoxes of the 21st century. The total food produced for human consumption globally would be enough to feed twice the number of undernourished people nowadays. The recent UNEP report, moreover, estimates that around 931 million tons of food waste were generated in 2019, and about 61% of food waste came from households. This means that we as consumers are still the major responsible for food waste, with a global average of 74 kilos per capita per year, 73 in Europe. That's a huge amount, which is a waste of resources. But why we waste so much? Unfortunately, there is not an easy answer, since food waste generation depends on a variety of elements that influence our personal behaviors. However, it is undeniable that, especially in Western world, food has become a cheap commodity. In the last 60 years, we have almost halved our expenditure on food at home, and cheap food, together with high availability and the huge variety offered by supermarkets nowadays, leads to an increase of consumer behaviors such as overbuying, improvising when doing groceries, or a poor attention in planning meals, which not only can lead to overconsumption but also and obesity, but also to waste, since we buy more than we need. Moreover, at home it often happens that we prepare too much food and throw it away, since some consumers reported to dislike food leftovers. As well, we have some problems in managing our food supplies. Improper storage and packaging, poor refrigerator management can lead to food wastage, and we are doing some activities there in the Sister project. As well, different drivers such as socio-demographic factors, where you live, the type of diet or your income can affect food waste. So you can see that it's a complex picture, but fortunately there are different strategies that we can adopt to reduce food waste at home.
The end consumer has an essential role in preventing food waste. But what are the anti-waste strategies we can adopt as consumers and citizens? The moment of purchase can be a key point in the fight against food waste. No matter how simple, the use of a rational shopping list can be a valuable aid in not buying more food than what is actually necessary. For example, experts recommend being careful with the purchase of fresh products such as fruit and vegetables, favoring frequent purchases of small sizes. Storage is another key moment in the fight against food waste, and properly managing the refrigerator is a simple action that can help us preserve food. For example, placing the most perishable foods in front of you can facilitate their consumption at the right times. Still at home, food preparation is a further important moment to prevent food waste. It's important to carefully assess the amount of food actually needed, so as to avoid cooking more than necessary. Then, getting well informed about recipes and cooking methods is also an important way to avoid culinary disasters that would inevitably end up in the bin. In the Sister project, we are going to study in depth each stage just presented, in order to understand what factors can promote anti-waste behaviors among European consumers.
Well, reducing food loss and waste is critical to achieve healthy diets and sustainable food system, and to reach different sustainable development goals. The Sister community is ready to give its valuable contribution in this fight against food loss and waste.